Hello, this is my Cardo Packtalk communication system. Absolutely fantastic bit of kit. Don't use it when I'm riding solo because I never connect it to my GPS or listen to the radio or music when I'm riding. I have a group of friends and it's great for keeping in touch when the four of us are riding, particularly with the mesh system on it. It connects faultlessly, it works faultlessly. It really is a fantastic bit of kit. However, I've had it for a couple of years now and the battery life has really gone on it. I'm only getting about 4 or 5 hours out of the battery, which is not long enough for a day's ride. And I've just been off for 4 days with a friend, and we were using these communication devices, and essentially I had to put the thing on charge every time we stopped for a coffee or something like that. So today I'm going to pull it apart and see if I can't replace the battery and give it a new lease of life. I'm on my workbench here, and I've got undone the back of the Cardo, removed the back cover. It's held on with 5 very small screws, which are T6 heads. To be honest, they're so small I had to have a look at them under a magnifying glass to see, because I thought initially they were Allen heads, but they're Torque T6. So I got my little torque driver out here and got those out. So with the back off, you can see the battery here. I've zoomed in so you can see more clearly. So this is the battery, and if I just lift that out, you can see that it is actually soldered in here. It's not clipped in, it's soldered in. Again, I'll zoom in as far as I can so you can see that more clearly. I can't focus in much closer with my camera, so I'm just using my phone because I've got a micro lens on my phone. So you can see there, that's where the battery connects. You've got the ground wire, the black one, and the live wire, red. So I need to unsolder those and then get a replacement battery and resolder it back in there, and hopefully that will give it a new lease of life. This is not easy to video because it's not easy to see. In fact, it's not easy to do because it's not easy to see. So I'll do my best. It's the ground wire off. And that's the live wire off, so that's them both undone. I need to clean up those terminals. What I'll do is I'll clean them up, put a fresh little blob of solder on there before I reconnect. Just trying to put a little bit of flux on here, just so when I put some new solder on, it'll sit nicely. Hopefully, that's the idea. I'm going to turn my soldering iron up a bit as well. I've got it at 350 degrees. I'm going to turn it up more to 400 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to try just getting a little blob of solder on my soldering iron and soldering iron tip. Put it on there and see if we can just prime that ready with a nice little bit of solder on both of them. You know, that's worked quite well. Doesn't look too bad at all. I have a replacement battery here. Seem to be quite widely available to these replacement batteries. So you can see there's actually no label on the original battery at all, but with this one it's labelled. So it's 3.7 volts DC. This one is 850 milliamp hours. So just get my electric meter and have a look, because the old battery was, I think it was still knocking out the right voltage. It was just not lasting very long. Don't know, you're not going to be able to see me. I'll get my voltmeter in the picture if I can. There, right, you can see that. Right. So let's try the old battery. Yeah, so that's showing 3.96 volts, which is very healthy, actually. That's fine. But it just wasn't lasting. So I'm hoping with a new battery, just take this off the terminals. I need to just strip the end of that wire. I'll do that and get back to you. Okay, so I've just stripped the end of the wires on this new battery. Let's have a little test of that. So that's showing 3.9 volts. So that looks pretty healthy to me. That's good. So I'm just going to silver the ends of these two wires that I've stripped off, and then I can join them up. I've put some flux paste on the end of the wires here. Just helps the, there's obviously flux in the solder, in the core of the solder wire, but it just helps the solder run into and integrate into the wires of the cable here. Rather than blobbing and sitting on top. Looks good to me. So here we go. This is tricky simply because it is so small to see what you're doing, and obviously to make sure that you don't accidentally touch the terminals together. So let's go with the live one. Right, that's my positive in. Let's go for the negative. I've got to be so careful now I don't touch these wires together. So I'm going to keep the ground on this side. Let's go for it. Come on. Well, it seems to be connected. I'll just give that a second to cool down, and then the proof is going to be, will it switch on? I haven't put the back on yet, just let's try firing it up to see what happens. Oh, yeah. As you can see the lights there. It's come on, so everything seems to be working. So, switch it off. Let's put the back on, and then hopefully I've got a new lease of life. Here is the back of the unit, and you can probably see there's this kind of silicon, bead of silicon round the edge, which what keeps it waterproof. I'll just zoom in with the other camera. So we've got the real close shot, and you can see, if I just point with my little pointer here, you can see just little bits of it coming off here, that silicon seal. So unless I replace that, this unit is not going to be 100% waterproof when I put it back together. And, you know, riding in the UK, it needs to be waterproof. So I'm going to put some black silicon sealer around that before I fasten it back onto the front of the unit. Here is the silicon sealer that I use. The brand's not important. This is Granville, but you know, there are a lot of similar ones. But it's really useful stuff. If you haven't got any of this, I recommend you get some. So you can use it for all sorts of things. So for example, you know, electrical connectors, which is essentially what I'm doing here, sealing off this electrical unit. But if you've got electrical connectors that are in vulnerable places where they leak, you can put some of this on. Great for sealing indicators as well. If the indicator lens is letting water in, you can put a bit of this seal around. So it's pretty useful stuff to have. But putting it onto this Cardo unit is going to be quite a fiddly job, so I'll probably use this, I don't know, one at the end of the other of this to put it on. I'll have to experiment, see what's the easiest way of doing it. Before I can put some new silicone on, I need to remove the old silicone, and you can probably see round here, if I start scraping, there's quite a bit of silicone on here, which will be what came from the factory. So I need to go round and carefully remove all of this from both sides of the joint. This is the unit side, but on the back as well, you see there's some stuck to the back. Go all the way around and carefully remove all of this silicone, and then I can put some new on. So I'll do that. I don't know how well you'll be able to see there, but I scraped all of the old sealant off both sides, and then I've gone right round the edge of the back plate there and put on. It's very difficult to just put on a small quantity. The way I've done it is I just got, that's the battery packet there, just squeezed a bit of sealant onto that, and then I dabbed it on using my little pointer. So hopefully that will be enough to seal it. So let's get the back on and get it sealed up. Right, here goes. I think if I've got a bit too much sealant on there, it's not going to do any damage, because there's no way, as long as I'm not gumming up any of the connectors, there's nowhere for it to go really where it'll cause any harm. Right, so that all fits together nicely. Let's get the screws back in. These are my screws here. Let's get those in. And then once that has set, it only takes about 15-20 minutes to set, does that sealant. That should be good to go. Right, that is the back screwed on, so I'm just going to go round the edge and just wipe off any extra sealant that's squeezed out there. Not much. It's fine. And then make sure everything works. The little aerial pops up. There's nothing interfering with that. Got the socket there, we can see that. All good everywhere. Let's make sure that it switches on. Yeah, there's the unit on. And switch it off. So what I'm going to do now, final job, is I'll just put it on a battery charger to make sure that battery is fully charged, and then hopefully we're good to go. So I hope you found that helpful and useful. If you have one of these and you've got the same problem of the battery life dying off, as you can see, it was a fairly simple job. We're sorting that out. You just need a soldering iron, really. Here we are then. My Cardo unit is back to its former glory. I can now go out for a full day's ride without having to worry about charging it up halfway through the day. That was a very easy job. I'm assuming it's waterproof with the silicone I put on. I'm not going to test it other than, you know, riding it in the rain. The battery I got off eBay. It was about £12 UK, including postage, so not very expensive. If you fancy having a go at this job, I just put into eBay Cardo Packtalk replacement battery, and there were various options came up, and as you can see, it works absolutely fine. After I fitted the new battery, I put it on charge because the battery was quite low. It took nearly an hour to charge up, and then, you know, switched it on and you know, ran it for several hours, and it's great. So thank you very much for watching. If you don't subscribe to the channel, you know, I've got a growing collection of useful little videos like this. Please consider subscribing. Hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you again soon. Bye.